Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to discuss about what is the difference between Hadoop and Spark. So we live in a world with huge where we have huge amount of data that basically we are calling as a big data. To handle that data, we need a powerful tool that we are saying as a Hadoop and Spark. So first we will discuss about what is Hadoop. Hadoop store and process big data using many computers. So let's understand first what is the meaning here to store. Hadoop is storing data using many computer. So suppose you have five computers, basically five cluster of computers. Each computers have 16 GB RAM, 4 CPUs, and 1 TB disk. Together, the cluster size will be 80 GB RAM, 20 CPU, and 5 TB disk. So when we say uses many computer, it means combining their RAM, CPU, and storage to process big data efficiently. So Hadoop is breaking the data into pieces and spread across machines. So whenever we are storing the data, it will store the data in basically it will break the data in small batch or chunks and it will store the data into the computer. Uses MapReduce to process data in batch. Hadoop is basically good for large and slow jobs. Let's understand what is a Spark. So in Hadoop, if we have high volume of data, that process will be very slow. To make the process faster, Spark came into the picture. Spark is basically faster tool to make the fix Hadoop slow speeds jobs. It uses RAM instead of disk. So let's understand first what is the main difference between disk and RAM. So suppose when you are opening a file, it's read the data from the disk and load it into RAM to work on it. So permanently we are storing the data into the disk, but for processing the data, temporarily it will store the data into the RAM. It will process the data in the faster, and again it will store the data in disk. Use RAM instead of disk, handle real-time data, machine learning, and graphs too. So in Spark, we have capability to handle real-time data, but in Hadoop, we can't handle the real-time data, ML, and graphs also. So let's discuss what is the architecture comparison. Hadoop user disk reads writes data often. So Hadoop is using disk to read and write the data. Spark, it is uses memory, basically RAM, to process the data faster. Spark can also use Hadoop storage. So Spark have their own RAM storage to process the faster, but Spark can use the Hadoop as a storage system. So now many of the companies using the similar technology, they are using Spark and Hadoop both. So for storing the data, they are using Hadoop, but for processing the data, they are using Spark because it's faster compared to Hadoop. And it is handling basically real-time data as well. So that's why companies are most preferably using Spark. So if we will talk about the performance, though Hadoop is a slower job. So because it is using disk to store the data. Spark is much faster because it uses memory to store the data. Hadoop is basically harder to code. So Hadoop is only supporting Java and mm, like all the person like can't understand the Java because it's little difficult to understand. But Spark it support multiple languages like Python, Java, Scala, etc. Let's understand what is the use cases. Hadoop, large data storage, old reports, bad job. So what it is to Hadoop, it will store the data. Spark, real-time system, machine learning, fast analytics. Compatibility, both work together. Spark and Hadoop can work together. Spark can use Hadoop storage and tools. Hadoop is older, Spark is faster and flexible. Let's summarize this. So we have Hadoop and Spark. Speed, Hadoop is slower than Spark. Spark is basically faster. Hadoop can't process the real-time data, but Spark can process the real-time data. So now the all nowadays all about the real-time data. So Hadoop, that's why we are not using Hadoop because it can't process the real-time data, but Spark can process it. Easy to code because Hadoop is using the MapReduce, and MapReduce is only supporting the Java to write the any transformation logic. But Spark can support multiple languages like Python, Java, Scala, everything Spark can support. So people, whatever is comfortable in their language, they can write the code. ML support. Hadoop has very limited ML support, but Spark have very good ML support. So final thought is like use Hadoop for big data, long running jobs and storage. So if we have long running jobs and main purpose is storing the data, not much transformation. On that scenario, you can use this Hadoop. But if you have like real time data and you need high speed of transformation, then on that scenario, you can use this Spark. So based on our project requirement, people are using Hadoop or Spark. It's totally up to you. What is your requirement to use Hadoop or Spark? So it's all about Hadoop versus Spark. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any doubts, please you can comments on this video. Thank you.